You are listening to an update from Washington with the Congressman from Alabama's 1st Congressional District, Bradley Byrne. Now from our nation's capital, Congressman Byrne.
Well, welcome into this week's edition of an update from Washington. I'm Seth Morrow, joined with Congressman Bradley Byrne. Congressman, last Saturday was something known as Small Business Saturday, in which people went and shopped locally and at small businesses. Why do you think small businesses are so important to the local economy?
Well, Seth, we know that half the people that work in the private sector in America work in small businesses. Small businesses are the backbones of all of our communities, particularly in all of the places that I have in the 1st Congressional District. I mean, we all like shopping with the people we know, and so these small merchants and retailers, people that do repair work for us, people that are involved in all phases of the American economy, a lot of them are small businesses, and we forget them a lot when we talk about business. We think all business is big. Well, most businesses aren't, and it's very important that we take care of them because they're the backbone of our local economy and the American economy.
What are some ways that you try to stay in touch and in communication with small businesses?
Well, first of all, my wife and I tend to shop with small businesses all throughout the district. We like shopping local, so that's one way to do it. But the other thing is that I try to go and tour small businesses and sit down and listen to the owners of small businesses and hear the problems that they've got, whether it's from the government or otherwise. And I've learned an awful lot from going on those trips and sitting with those small business people and talking to the people that work for them.
What are some of the top concerns you hear when visiting these small businesses?
Well, the government is on their back all the time with regulations that really don't make any sense, whether it's from the IRS or from the EPA or from OSHA. And, of course, they've got the same problem with Obamacare and things like that all the rest of us do. So the key message there is they're not looking for the government to do something special to help them. They just want the government to get off their back, and I think we need to get off their back.
One area I know that small businesses talk a lot about is the tax code, and it seems it's pretty burdensome for them.
Yeah, I mean, a small business doesn't have the money for all these in-house accountants and people that do all these fancy things for the big companies, yet they're subject to all the same tax code problems that a big company is. And it costs them a lot of money to go out and have to hire people from outside to come in, whether it's lawyers or accountants, to help them comply with the law that they ought to be able to read and understand and be able to comply with without all that. But we've made our tax code so big and so complicated with all these special interest provisions in there. That's why we need tax reform, is so we can reduce the tax code to something that's fairly simple, fairly easy to understand, and something that's easy for them to comply with. It doesn't cost them a lot of money, either in compliance or in the taxes that they pay.
Another issue you mentioned was health care, and I know that since Obamacare has come along, it really took a hit on small businesses, both from the plans that some may offer to their customers, but also just for the owners of these small businesses.
Yeah, I mean, I hear this all the time. They want to be able to offer health care to their employees, but Obamacare is making it next to impossible because of the cost of it and then the cost of complying with it. So Obamacare has actually made life much worse for our small business people, and it was supposed to make it easier.
So what are some of the things that Congress can do and you can do as a congressman to help promote and grow small businesses?
Well, we've passed a couple of specific bills this year that help small businesses, and we need to keep doing that. But in general, the most important thing we can do is to get the government out of trying to manage and micromanage the businesses in America, particularly small businesses, because small business people aren't looking for an extra handout or anything like that. They just want us to leave them alone so they can do their job.
Well, Congressman, I think we're about out of time, but as always, we appreciate everyone listening.
Yeah, I hope everybody will go online and check on our website, byrne.house.gov, and we'll see you next week.
You have been listening to an update from Washington with Congressman Bradley Byrne. Congressman Byrne encourages you to contact him with any comments or questions. You can email him online at byrne.house.gov or find him on Facebook under U.S. Representative Bradley Byrne. Stay tuned to this station next week for another timely report from our nation's capital. This broadcast has been pre-recorded.